Hey guys, I want to do something a little bit different today. Today I want to bring to you a channel called Marshall Mays. The two guys that run this channel, they're both my first cousins. We grew up together and they've been in the martial arts competitive fighting for 40 years. And I am in the gun industry, they're in the martial arts industry. But what I wanted to talk about was, just because you carry a firearm, sometimes you need to learn some hand-to-hand combat. So me and these two gentlemen, we grew up together. My cousin Barakula Shidoshi and my other cousin Israel Lopez Sensei. And they have an excellent channel called Marshall Mays. And the video that I want to watch today is called 52 Blocks. The 52 block system is a close quarter combat system. And some of you know this system from living in certain facilities, and then some of you know this system because it is a actual fighting system. So I wanted to share this with you because sometimes you can't get to your firearm and you need to have some type of combat skill, this close quarter combat skill, to get your assailant off you or something like that. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video and let's learn something.
Go Nichiwa! Welcome to the Marshall Mays. I'm with my partner in crime, Barakula Shidoshi.
And I'm with Israel Lopez Sensei.
And we're coming to you from Harlem, New York. We're going to get together with Professor Mo.
Now, Professor Mo, he is known to be the father of the 52 block system. So we're going to go in there, we're going to learn a couple of techniques, and this is modern combatives.
As we head downstairs, I'm very excited because I've heard a lot about Professor Mo, who was featured in Black Belt magazine, and I've heard a lot about the 52 blocks fighting system. We currently have arrived a bit early, class is in session, so we're going to have to wait in the hall until we're acknowledged. Meanwhile, we'll have a look around. Man, talk about butterflies in the stomach.
With the history of the 52 block system, I'm very intrigued because a lot of what I came up under, I had no idea that it came from our ancestors, and it was so rooted deep within our ancestry in Africa and in America. So yes, I am looking forward highly.
The 52 blocks is an African martial arts that has been developing in America. It started out as knocking and kicking. This is the fighting system that the slaves came in. 1, 2. Good. Like capoeira, which is from Brazil, it is an African martial arts. It came over through the slave ships, and those people who became slaves, this was their fighting system. You know, when it first started off as knocking and kicking, Virginia Shuffle, Carolina Chaos. As it moved on, it became Stato, because I always tell people that the 52 blocks didn't come from jail. The 52 blocks went to jail. Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, all right, all right.
Good, salute. How you doing? Salute. Excellent, excellent.
All right, it's a pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you guys here.
All right. So what do you have in store for us?
Just these guys are just doing some basic movements, and we're going to start off breaking down what are some of the most prevalent moves that you'll see in the 52 blocks. For instance, covering crossbone, cover the bullet. So we're doing a combination which is called set number 1. So this is set number 1. We have several sets, but this set will probably get you with all the terminology of the 52 block. 52 blocks has a lot of basic terms, you know, that you'll understand. Shuffle the cards, you shuffle the cards. Roll the dice, you roll the dice. You know, cover the bullet, you cover the bullet. So it's all in English, and it really explains to you some of the basics. That's why it's great for kids. When I teach kids, because I teach kids how to do it because they understand it. Stack the deck, you're blocking and stacking the deck. So right now, that's the drill that everybody's doing now. Glad to have you guys here today.
Hey, man, it's a
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
It's exciting.
So much.
Thank you.
Salute, gentlemen.
Salute.
Okay, good.
All right.
Let me show you what we do, guys. And shuffle. Good, shuffle those cards. Ready? Jab, cross, cover the bullet, skull and crossbone, roll the dice, and shuffle.
As we watched Professor Mo flow from technique to technique, I found myself enjoying the pragmatic simplicity of the flow.
Roll the dice, and bam, bam, shuffle. Okay, so come. Let's work with it backwards. So shuffling is attacking the eyes or attacking the throat. So jab, cross, cover the bullets. 2 straight punches. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Cover the bullet. That's the bullet. What am I doing? Shoot it. Covering the what? Cover the bullet. Now skull and crossbone. Hook. Hook, hook. Good. Hook. Good. This is your skull. This is what?
Bone.
Cross what? Crossbone. So do it again, 2 hooks. So hook, hook. That's covering the bullet and skull and crossbone. So you did jab, cross, cover the bullet, bang, bang, and then what? Hook came, bang, bang, right? And then he tried to hook punch again. Roll the dice. In his face. I'm hitting him. And then I'm coming back. When I'm coming back, I'm striking under. Right? So watch again. Just that fast. Now the next move I would do is what? Attack the eyes. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Shirley. So your hands up. Jab. Cross. Good. So I'm covering the what? Now you throw a hook. Good hook. Skull and what? Crossbone. There we go. Good. Now she throws another one. Go bam, bam, and bam. There we go. A lot of stuff I can do from there. I can do knee. I can sweep. I can do a lot of other stuff there. Now let's put it together with something different. Jab, baby. Can block. Strike. Jab again. Watch again. So right there, throw that punch. I'm doing what? Head what?
Head tap.
Good, let's go. Let's go back online. So we're gonna go jab, cross, head taps. Jab, cross, head tap. Jab, cross, head tap. A lot of people know the 52 blocks as just us getting into a fight, and we're doing what I call offensive fighting. But self-defense is defensive fighting as well as offensive fighting. Say, I meet him and, something goes on between his girlfriend and the bar. We go outside and both of us put our hands up. The best guy wins the fight. But the situation is, he's a lot younger than I, got more muscles than I got. So I'm not going to play with this guy, right? So what happens is we also have the defensive aspect. I might not be able to outpunch him. So what about the defensive aspect? When you're walking down the street and the guy grabs you. He wouldn't have grabbed me if he knew that I could defend myself. He wouldn't have grabbed me. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
He grabbed me because he thought I wasn't going to be able to defend myself. Something I told the guy today, choke. The man choked me, I palmed him, came across, elbowed him, broke his finger, punched him, and kneed him in the head. He would have never choked me if he knew that I was going to defend myself. So now we're going to talk about the aspects of how to use the 52. First, when he's punching at me, this is my first movement. Second movement, I'm head tapping. Next movement, popping, stepping around. That's the spinning elbow. From the spinning elbow, I have an arm bar. Now I'm gonna step, use my locks to throw. He's right here. Now I'm gonna attack his breathing, dropping my knee, kicking him in the face if he stands up. Now I'm looking around because, like I told you before, AD has a big brother who's always around. So where is that dude at? That dude's always in the house. So that's basic, just being able to defend yourself. I just defended myself against 2 punches. One, I parried my palm. The next one, I head tap. When you see guys do with this in the 52s, that's what that movement is. Punch with that hand. That's what that movement is. I got a little tap of this. It may look like double pyramids for a minute, but right there. Because this is the double pyramid. Offense and defense, double pyramid. But I want to also be able to control and elbow at the same time. The 52 blocks has a lot of elbows and a lot of headbutts. Okay, so now we've been talking about the defense of the 52 blocks and understanding the history of the 52 block. You know, back in the day, when I was a kid, the 52 blocks was called Jailhouse Rock or Stato. And then before then, back in Jack Johnson's days, back in the slave days when they came, it was called knocking and kicking. Then from knocking and kicking, it became the Virginia Shuffle. From the Virginia Shuffle to Carolina Chaos. And it was called other things, but the 52 blocks represents all of those particular aspects in martial arts. When I walked out the door as a kid, we knew that the 52 blocks was martial arts that came from the black community. If you take Taekwondo, what's Taekwondo? That's Korean. If you take Kung Fu, that's Chinese. If you take karate, that's Japanese. And also there's another martial arts called Savate. Savate's from France. And you see them, they wear the nice tights and gloves. But that martial arts comes from the ghettos of France. It's now the national martial arts of France, but it actually comes from the ghettos of France. It's called Savate. It looks like kickboxing, but that martial arts developed in the streets of France. And the 52 blocks has developed not only in the jail system, obviously, but it has developed in the streets of urban societies like New York, Chicago, and all those kinds of cities where you see that migration of a lot of Africans, people of African descent moving to those areas. So you'll see that the 52 blocks has been called other things, but as the world knows it now, it is the 52 blocks, all the way from the slave ship to the plantation on to modern society today.
It's always enjoyable to see defensive tactics being practiced in real time. The repetition helps for best practices in real life situations.
From what I'm looking at, end of chapter. Nice.
Makeshift knives were always part of the system. They're called shanks. But a gun component wasn't part of the system. In many martial arts systems, they don't have real gun components. So I decided that I felt that we needed a gun component. The key to any martial arts is how does it work? And that's what we've been able to do with the 52 blocks. Show you how it works. And we instituted a knife system. How does it work? Sharp blade, dull blade, no blade at all. How to disarm a person if they're shooting a gun at you. And also, for some of my advanced 52 block students, they also learn how to shoot. Take them to the gun range, you've got to learn how to shoot a gun. You're really learning how to defend yourself against a gun better when you actually know how to shoot. You know how it works. Now, also I talked about the offense and defense. Now let's talk about weapons. You see guys, they're learning nunchucks and samurai swords. You can't carry that stuff around. Not legal. And bow and arrows, no one uses those weapons. So what are we learning? Stick, knife, and gun. That has to be in your component. You have to have a stick, knife, and gun in the curriculum. So I'm going to show you a couple of simple things with the stick, the knife, and the gun, how to defend yourself. Now, let's just do the knife. We're going to do the knife, and then we're going to do some gun stuff. Now, don't think that only men are going to be attacking each other with weapons, because women will cut you up too. So we're going to do this. Come on out, Shirley. Good. You're going to do the one strike. You see the one strike coming. The one strike is the most common strike. That's what gives you that $150. Two strike. The two strike, another strike. Three strike. Four strike. And five. This is the stabbing outside and the stabbing outside. What you also want to have is control. The key is to get control of this weapon. Notice I went under the arm. The reason why I went under the arm is because what's she going to do? Pull it back. That pullback, she tries to get that weapon back. So what am I doing? Pullback, she tries to get that weapon back. So what am I doing here? I'm possessing the weapon. I'm able to throw a headbutt. I'm able to sweep her. I'm able to do a lot of things because this knife is behind me now. So we want to learn the basic principles of the knife and how to use the knife. I see a lot of guys come to one strike. One strike, doing these kinds of disarms. Go to the other side. Come one strike. Cross block and bring him down. Looks good, right? Nice. Won't work in a real street fight though. First of all, I don't understand or know this weapon. I don't know if this weapon is a very sharp knife, like my knife is. I don't know if it's a used or dull knife. That kind of changes from slashing to poking because it's a dull knife. I don't know if it's sharp on both sides or one side. So to do some stuff like that blindly without understanding what the weapon is, you're taking a lot of risk here. But first today, let's learn the most common strike that you're going to see. Because you're not going to learn them all. We're going to talk about the one strike. So she wants to cut me, slash my face, slash my throat. We see that a lot. $150. So when she comes, I'm going to raise the gate. I have both hands in. Now from there, she can always get a headbutt. I'm not worried about the weapon. I'm outside of the weapon. One of the worst things I don't want to be is she swings at me is this. Because I'll run out of room as far as that when she's slashing here. I step in, and then I can use that headbutt and use that elbow right there. Elbow, strike. I can do anything I want. I can come under and disarm the weapon. If my hand comes under, she has to disarm this weapon. I didn't come over and do this, did I? Nope. I came over and I did this, grabbed her own hand so I can pull. And then from there, there's other ways I can cut. Cut the wrist, cut the fingers. So I can cut the throat, wrist or fingers. You get it from the front. So she came with the one. I raised the gate. I trapped the hand. I elbow. If I think I have her under control, I disarm. Disarm. Once I disarm, look what I can do. Or under the arm, which makes her bleed. Or step back, cut the wrist. Cut the fingers so she won't touch me again. So this is understanding the knife. But you have to understand what those basic strikes are. Another one is the ice pick coming from the 5. That's something that happens a lot. The ice pick, I want to come into that ice pick. And I'm outside of that ice pick. In a good world, return to sender. Return to sender and restore out. But here with that coming in, I gotta come in this way. I can't do this because she can stab me. So I'm coming in. Are you going to get cut with a knife? Yeah, you might get cut, but you don't want to get stabbed, and you don't want to get cut in other spots. So that's just it on a knife. We're not going to go into a lot of stuff with knives, but the techniques you have to look out for is a slash and a stabbing technique or ice pick. So you have two main grips, right? You have the hammer grip, and you also have the ice pick. Those are the two grips you're going to see most of the time. If you see the saber grip, you probably with a guy who knows how to use a knife, and you're probably in trouble. I would suggest that you run.
Run.
You should have ran the first time, but definitely if he's using a saber grip, I'm out of there. So sometimes you can see by what somebody's using, what somebody has. Thank you very much. Good. All right, now we're going to talk about defending ourselves against the gun, AB. Good. So he's going to point the gun. Good. I didn't tell him what to do, right? He chose to do that. One of the things I want to do is I want him to be as close as possible. The further distance, the more I'm in trouble. I want him to be close to me. That's how I'm able to disarm this weapon. And then moving out of the range of the weapon. Out of the range of the weapon. And one of the easiest ones to know is push up, push down. Right there, push up, push down. Look at this arm bar. Arm bar, this is on the side. Elbow to the face. And then you have your sweeps and other things that you can do. But be aware of this weapon. Watch again. Good. And a lot of people like disarms like this. If you disarm the gun like that, the gun will fire. Because his hand is in the what? Trigger. So when I do this, what's happening? Hopefully, my girlfriend, my wife, I better not have a girlfriend, my wife, hopefully my wife is not there, right? Because what happens? She gets shot. So you want to be able to understand how to defend yourself. And that's very important. This is basic. Everybody, every criminal is going to probably do this to the head because they want to tell you they're in control. So as a martial artist or as a person practicing martial arts, you need to have understanding of that. How to get better, please. I'm there. No, I don't know what's going on. It's nothing wrong with me putting my hands up. They accept that. What they don't accept is this. Now you get shot. They don't accept that. They will accept this. Oh my God, what's going on? Now I'm out. And understanding, and then you have to also understand what parts, what the trigger guard is. You have to understand the different parts of the weapon. If you never shot a weapon, as a self-defense person in the 52, with the 52 Federation, you have to go to the gun range. Everybody in the 52 Federation will go to the gun range. We're all trained in how to use a weapon. It's very, very important. And we have a big thing happening in the summertime where everybody will be going out to Miami, and we're going to be doing 2 weeks out there. We're going to be doing some gun work. Thank you, sir. Now, okay, so this one is to the stomach. Same thing, you gotta pass it. You gotta pass it. The thing I wanna do is get out of that gun, get out of there. Real simple to pass it. Pass it. And this in the 52 blocks, if he didn't have a gun, this is called tug the pants, where you grab the pants and punch the man. Watch. Grab the man and punch him. So what am I doing? I'm headbutting him, and I'm also hitting him, but I'm grabbing his leg. I'm tugging the what? You don't have pants on.
Tugging the pants.
I'm tugging the pants, right? Mm-hmm. So this is called tug the pants. And I use the same concept when he has a gun. Gun, when I pass it, that punch happens immediately. Gun fire, I know how to grab the weapon, I'm there because I don't want what? Pull back. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna try to pull back and get his weapon. I'll take any punch he can give me. What I won't take is him getting his weapon back. What's my next movement? Knees, scrapes, but what's gonna happen? I am not letting this weapon go. Last but not least, don't believe in stuff like this. Point gun. One of the first disarms I learned that I thought was so excellent was punching here and striking here. So, that's nice, but I just shot you by accident. I have no control. Mm-hmm. So when I did this, and the gun fired, you got hit, or he got hit. I want to make sure that I have control. So these kinds of things are reckless. This is a reckless disarm. This is a reckless disarm. Notice I got out the way. I hit him in the street, but this is a reckless disarm because I can't control it. I want to be able to control my disarm. Man, guys, I want to be able to control a man at all times and control how I can take the weapon. My hand is in the trigger guard. I'm trying to stop the gun from being fired, and I'm turning it to him. I take my hand off the trigger guard, put it back on the weapon, and I pull the weapon away. I rack the weapon, and I'm right there with the weapon again. So that's basic with that. Now, I want to go to some other stuff. The 52 blocks is a martial arts system because it's a fighting system. And to make it a system, you have to have a curriculum. So what happens when you don't have a curriculum, no one believes you have a system. So goes the word system, right? System means you expect a curriculum, not, yo, this is my move. No, not your move. What do I need for it to be a system? So myself and other people like Diallo Frazier and like Burley, those guys have understand how to make it into a system and give it a curriculum. Through my martial arts career, I found out I was a better teacher when I had a curriculum. And I worked with guys who were martial art geniuses, but they didn't have a curriculum. So only they could do this stuff. I remember many years ago, this guy was throwing knives, doing handstands, doing all kinds of flips, and I was young at the time. I was all excited. Then I went to the school and I saw the students, and none of them were doing handstands, none of them were throwing knives, none of them were doing magical stuff. This guy was what I call a talent. See, when you have a system, when you have a curriculum, when you have a martial arts, it's David and Goliath. It's not Goliath and David.
Now, why is it important to be able to fight in hallways and not just in traditional martial arts setting, but why in the 52 block system do you feel the need to have people train in hallways, elevators, and things as such?
Well, the 52 blocks is not a traditional martial art. It doesn't depend on that, the grandeur of traditionalism. The 52 blocks is about, can I defend myself from the guy on the corner? I was at a party one day and some guy tried to attack me. Can I defend myself? We need to answer those questions as martial artists. Are we teaching a self-defense system or not? You get pushed or choked, what's your first reaction and what it was that you would do? Okay? So from there, in striking, elbowing, pushing my guys, and then working your numbers. 1, we gotta fix this. 2, 3, 4, slide, pull. So people can understand what it is to be slammed to the... Because when that happens to you, it's not like we're in class just doing our little patty cake thing and going along with shit. He just slammed me to that wall. How do you work with that? So, in working against attackers, again, slam to the wall. Let's go. Slam to the wall. Right there. Hit him with that pyramid. Striking. And then I can redirect. Push. Knee. Elbow. Break the leg. Cross punch. Look. Elbow. Because what am I looking for?
His voice.
Looking for his friend. I step out, I know who he is. There's a lot of other stuff I can do. And it's not just the 52s, it's with any self-defense system. You know, am I learning sport? Because there's some martial arts that are sport. Am I learning sport? Am I learning culture? There's some martial arts that's more about the culture. You know, meditation, riding horses, all kinds of, it's the culture.
Well, what a session. What a session. So much I gained from this.
Yes, thank you, man. We learned a lot. 52 blocks. Crazy. Man!
52 blocks, and some people ask stupid questions like, well, is it just for black dudes? No, it's not. The 52 blocks is for everybody. Men, women, and children. I learned a Korean martial art. They didn't tell me, oh, this is just for Koreans. I took Shotokan karate. Oh, this is just for karate guys. I took Taekwondo. Oh, this just for Korean guys. I never said that. So the 52 blocks is for everybody. And we encourage people to get hold of the Federation, get us on Facebook, Instagram, and we'll get more and more people going. Okay?
All right. Well, definitely once again, thank you for having us.
Yes,
Professor Mo.
Thank you.
I'm all over the place. All right.
Here's the salute. 5 on the heart,
5 on the heart,
2 on the hand.
2 on the head.
52. 5 on the heart,
5 on the heart.
2 on
2
the
on the
head.
hand.
I love that.
52 blocks.
52.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
I'm as always with my partner in crime, Barakula Shidoshi.
And I'm with my partner in crime, Israel Lopez Sensei.
And you've been watching the Marshall Mays Modern Combatives.
I hope you guys liked the video from Marshall Mays of combative training here. The video was about the 52 block system. It's a good fighting system, but like anything, you got to train with it. And I like the fact that he pointed out some maneuvers where you can disarm an assailant that has a firearm. However, I'm not gonna tell you to do that unless you are an expert at it and you've trained to do it, because it can be extremely dangerous. One of the common denominators that I saw in the video, that everything that he was talking about was getting out the way. It's always about getting out the way. I'm gonna throw my hands up, I'm gonna take those cuts here. Same thing with the firearm. If I have to take that blow here, I'm gonna take that blow here, but I'm coming in. If I can get close to you, the better you are. The further away you are, the worse it is for you. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this up. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to leave a link to the original video in the description. Please go check out Barakula Shidoshi and Israel Lopez Sensei. But hey, you'll learn a lot. Watch those guys. Peace. Handle your handle.